5, 4, 3, 2. Keep your hands off of Babu Frick.
Yep, the food is ready.
1. Hello!
What's up, everybody?
It covered my hair.
Show the surprise. Show the surprise. Judge Evie no longer has braces. Look at that.
Oh my god, they're gone.
It's a miracle.
It's insane.
I thought it was a miracle. They just took them off your face.
Yeah, it's not really. I get my retainer soon.
That's not terrible, though.
I don't have to wear it full time.
You do?
Yeah.
I thought you don't have to wear it full time.
I just wear it full time for like 6 weeks.
Oh, that's not bad. Hey, Lex is here. What's up, Lex? So, yep. So, no retainer on Evie. So, that's all.
That's crazy.
That's all good. And
Why is the bottom retainer on?
Yeah, but you can still chew gum with that.
Yeah, there's no food restrictions.
Exactly.
I know.
Just pretty weird, huh?
My hair is so straight right now.
The other big news is Evie just finished up doing Descendants yesterday.
Oh my god.
So
crazy.
That's pretty cool, you know, and everything. And Evie played a character very unlike herself.
Oh yeah, it was super unlike me.
Who did you play?
I played this character named Evie Guys. She's pretty cool.
Evie Guys. That was the name.
Her name's Evie Guys.
Is it really?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I'd never seen Descendants before. I keep wanting to call it The Descendants, but I was told it was wrong.
No, that's the wrong movie.
Well, who was in The Descendants?
I don't know.
You gotta stop hitting the thing. You're shaking the camera.
I'm not trying to.
We have a backlog because last week I didn't have access to the Judge Evie Presides. So while not an official
backlog is actually just all Brendan.
Evie Presides question.
Brendan,
This is the
no.
Brian questions.
I got the wrong name. So I was thinking Brendan LaSalle.
Yeah, no.
And then I was
Brendan
like,
LaSalle says no questions. It's just us. So last week's episode, though, we got a lot of play. You know, a lot of views. I guess a lot of folks were interested in me quitting 5e, or it was just the fact that by putting 5e in the title, it got a lot of views that way. Which I'm going to say it's probably the case. So by, again, us not talking about 5e, we're going to keep it pretty small scale. Although, you know, we are going to keep talking about Mothership because we're trying to set up some holiday Mothership gaming. I thought that would be great for us. And there's Brian. Brian's here. Look at that.
Oh my
So it's
God.
the all Brian question night. I thought we would run a really holiday festive kind of series of adventures for Mothership through the holidays, through Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I'm going to run Wrath of God, The Drain, and Meat Grinder back to back to back, which will turn our basement into a spaceship, and then a prison, and then hell.
Nice.
And that's pretty cool, I think. I have been, if anyone's interested, I'll put the link in on YouTube on the YouTube video in the notes. And I'll do here actually. I will put the link in the chat too. This is the link of our Mothership inspiration stuff. Everything from music to a couple clips. Like there's a clip from the USS Callister episode of Black Mirror, which I'm trying to like mine that a bit for the Wrath of God set up in the house here when we set the house up for that. And then you know, there's some ambient music in there. So if you're looking for inspiration for your Mothership game, especially since the Kickstarter is like over $1 million now, and everyone's going to be jumping into this even heavier over the next year, please feel free to use that playlist. So we set that up for next Saturday, though. Yeah, I think your brother's in. Both your brothers are in.
Nice.
It used to be a family game. Doesn't have to be. All right. So moving on, let's go into. Oh, and Brian said video on 5e was good. Great to hear your perspectives. That is cool. I'm glad to hear everyone's happy I quit 5e.
Yay. It's easy on us.
It's easy on
They're
us.
happy to hear it.
I mean, it still could show up with you because you give a bunch of it over to your friend Josh. So you never.
It
know.
also is like all the school.
That's true. All right. Well, look, this is we're gonna do our backlog of items here because we missed last week. So you can always send questions to dccjudgeev@gmail.com. Okay, that's what I do. It feels like it's midnight.
It's not midnight. It is 9 o'clock.
All right, Judge Evie. Let's start getting this backlog here. What do we got? What's the first thing you just picked? Put the picture up. What is that?
I don't know.
Why do you have that? No, show it a little more. Like, let the viewers see the horror of that.
I don't know what it is. I just found it.
It's that bird meme thing.
I don't know. I was on Snapchat and I screenshot it because I've been screenshotting weird pictures. Here, I'll find some more examples. This is like my thing lately. I've been sending people really weird pictures, like very off-putting pictures.
That one's off-putting.
Like this one.
That's horrible.
And
no one wants to see Bert in that. Why you download
everyone
these?
wants to see Bert. No, I find these online.
Like, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. Where's the toes one? Oh, there's this one.
What is this? Is that a whole jar in the person's mouth? Go to the questions.
Is this?
No one wants to see this.
One? It's Beans Furby.
Oh, it's stop.
Oh wait, where's the toes?
No, don't put any with toes on here. No, that is just awful. Anyway, questions and rap. Come on.
Okay, the rap goes first.
Don't worry about the fact that you notice that the Walls Dungeon Tavern sign is gone now. That's actually when you come down into the basement, it's there now.
Should we do the rap first since we have more questions?
Yeah, let's do the rap first.
Okay, it's called the Cuddle Bunny.
The cuddle, like a cuttlefish?
I don't know.
The Cuddle Bunny. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop a sick beat.
Wait, I glitched. The day is bright and sunny, and it looks so warm and fuzzy. Beware the Cuddle Bunny. It'll make your thinking muzzy. It's soft, caress, biggling, makes you dream of Adam Driver. But the rabbit is confining and a clear soul survivor. It takes your heart for lungs and it eats them all in one. In the end of this till dawning, you become an empty thrall. So don't hug the Cuddle Bunny, send an arrow through his heart. On your fate will not be funny and your world will fall apart.
All right, that was from Greg Schwarzkopf, another awesome rap. So, Greg, thank you for sending that in. Anyone is welcome to send us raps that we will do terrible jobs with. But
I was good in the last
that was pretty
stanza.
good. That was good.
The last versey stanza.
The last versey stanza.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go into the questions. Stop hitting the thing. Let's just stay still.
I can't.
All right.
Okay. This is from Brian from November 7th, but I also have Brian from 7 days ago.
Well, read Brian's the oldest question, and make sure it's not something we already answered. Because like last time you were on, you did Brian's questions like a second time.
Did we do these already?
I don't know. Now I gotta take a look.
No, it's these ones.
I
I don't think so.
don't think so.
Okay, if these are repeats, sorry,
Oh, well,
not sorry.
go ahead.
Deal
Go
with
ahead.
it, broskies.
Great. We're gonna do repeats. Go ahead.
Greetings, judges. Hope you enjoyed the glories of the Empire this weekend.
That was Empire the Subscon. Yeah.
Questions. Number 1. But DCC adventures that have a higher level wizard, say level 5, at the end foe battle, first level players, how do you run the wizard so that it does not turn into a pretty quick TPK, or do you TPK them?
Wait a second.
I don't know. So
wizard.
like when there's high level things, do you like get?
Oh, how do you run it so like the wizard doesn't TPK them?
Kill everything.
Well, you might not want to have there be a 5th level wizard fighting the party if they're lower level. You might want to like ratchet that down. Plus, don't let the opposing wizard spellburn or use luck. Or if you do, have there be a very limited amount of spellburn or luck burn. What I tend to do is if a wizard's going to like overcharge a spell, I'll let them roll a d30 instead of a d20 on their action die, but I won't let them burn into it. And I mean, just you have to play it by ear. It's not going to be fun if the opposing wizard just like one shot kills the whole party.
Yeah,
like,
that's just like meh.
Yeah, I mean a high level magic missile from a player into a monster is fun, but on the first round of the monster or the bad guy into the players, it can suck. So play around with it and try to be fair and maybe have the wizard go after individuals instead of the whole group.
Yeah.
So, Good question.
Yeah.
That's my take. How about your take? Any take? You don't have a take on that question.
No, what the? No,
You don't got a take on that.
No.
Go back.
No. This is so confusing.
Brian says, yes,
back.
eventually Iran had some advice to play a wizard if he's a little deluded, so immediately cast was to stop characters from performing ritual instead of trying to kill them. Good take. A 5th level wizard is going to demolish a party if they are played like a character. It's just, that's what they're going to do. It's where the game can be a bit unbalanced if you're throwing player characters and classes against the players. Next.
Should I read it?
Yep.
Okay. Question 2. In one of my games, figured out... Wait, I'm going to say it in a different voice. In one of my games, figured out that it was much better to try and run away or pass several days monsters. Let's start again. In one of my games, figured out that it was much better to try and run away or pass several days monsters to conserve their strength and lives. How do you handle situations where players try creative ways to disengage from combat and leave rooms/buildings so they can survive?
I mean, you guys tried this in one of your games against me.
We did.
Yeah, how'd that work?
Which game was this? We do this very often.
No, we'll give your
I feel like it happens often.
Give your feedback.
Well, like, if we're trying to run away and it's like a big dude, just have the person appear somewhere else, you know? Like,
just have the big guy just like show up, like the party's like they
well, if they're
left the
constantly
dungeon
running away in the
and
entire...
they go to the back of the tavern and the monster's there instead.
But if the entire
That's a good
game...
idea.
No, but if you're like a dungeon, right? And the entire time they're just running from, like, they're like in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, at one point, the guy, like, something's got to happen to keep them in the room, right?
Well, I did this to them, and we played the Emerald Enchanter, and they left like 3 times to go heal up. And when they came back the last time, there was boxes from Grimtooth that they noticed that Grimtooth stocked the dungeon for the Enchanter to pack the place up. I mean, I think running away is great. I think it's a great way to really roleplay what the party would do. But if they show back up,
They can't run away again.
they should run away again.
It's also just, like, boring. Like, stop running away. Just do it.
Well, I mean, unless the monster are idiots. I mean, you know, they don't realize what's going on, you know.
Unless they're dumb. But if they're, like, running away just to, like, run away, then they're just
if they attack and they flee, and they're an educated or a smart monster, they're gonna beef their defenses up. But they might flee. You know, maybe the 5th level wizard, when realizing he made the party flee, decides, you know what, my base of operations is no longer hidden. I'm gonna take my stuff and leave.
Yeah. Or he just appears in another room. You know? As they do. Okay.
Next question from Brian.
Number 3. In which city would you like to hold the next Cyclops Con convention in person?
In person
Brian.
Cyclops Con.
Yes.
In which city?
Oh my god.
I mean, I'd really like to have it somewhere within 5 minutes of my house. Like,
That's so boring, though.
You know, it'd be cool if it was in Valley Forge, like the Valley Forge
like
Convention Center.
They won't shut up.
Who?
The drama club people.
I'll tell you. Valley Forge Convention Center.
In all the old-timey buildings.
No, the convention center. So it's still local. You can be there in like a half an hour. That's
No,
fine.
I think they should do it in
I
the
don't want to.
houses.
I want to have in the houses at Valley Forge.
Is that like? I feel like that might be offensive.
I mean,
Shush
it
your
might
mouth.
be. Oh, it's offensive. It just would be like
I think it's
disrespectful to have it at Valley Forge. But
That's
there's
sort of
Valley
it.
Forge is a town also.
It is?
Yes.
Oh.
There's a Valley Forge Convention Center. Because I used to go to Star Trek conventions there when I was a kid.
You went to Star Trek conventions?
I've been to like 4 or 5 Star Trek conventions,
I
yes.
really didn't like Star Trek.
I'm not a big fan, but that's the thing I did, you know? Is it the same convention center from the 80s? It's pretty old. I don't remember. It was the mid to early 90s that I would go to these things. I got to see Leonard Nimoy and stuff.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who played Spock. But the old
cool.
Spock, not the new Spock, not Zachary Quinto.
I don't know these names of people. I'm
All
gonna
right.
slap this thing.
That's where I'd want to do it. I don't really get a thing out of out of like traveling to their city to go to a convention, except for the fact that I get to go to the convention. Like it's nothing for me. It's not exciting for me to get to go to Indianapolis for the sake of Indianapolis for Gen Con. It's just where it is. So I go, but I don't really explore the city. I think that the coolest town that we've explored, if you can say that, is when we went to Lake Geneva for GaryCon.
Oh, I would really know that. Yeah, I think it's really cool there. That's really cool.
Is there tea?
It's a tea or coffee?
Is it tea?
I spill.
I don't know which one it is.
I spill.
Well, don't. We're getting tea, guys.
Is it tea or coffee?
It's tea. I spill yours.
Am I Jimmy?
Is it mine?
Oh, I thought I was
Let me
Jimmy.
get you something to clean it up.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess I'm not Jimmy. Kind of sad.
I'm Jimmy. This is
I
hot.
was handed the Jimmy cup.
Kind of hot. Next question.
I can't do it yet. Mom's still here.
Well, no, your feedback. What city would you want to in? Like, legitimately, what city would you want to have the next convention in?
Not a boring city. Paris.
We're not gonna get listen. The thing is, if it's somewhere like that, if you go to Paris and you said, you know what, I went all this way to Paris just to play like Dungeon Crawl Classics. The dog is like right behind us.
I think it's a pretty great thing.
You can see the top of this car.
Imagine being in, like a nice
Oh, there it is.
Imagine doing after the convention's over and like in the morning or and you're like it's like after hours events in a little bakery with your macarons and your croissants and your little coffees and you're like in Paris and like and you're just playing like games in little baking shops.
If we're gonna spend the money to go to Paris, we're not gonna be gaming in Paris. We're doing Paris stuff.
We definitely would still game in Paris.
You think we'd be gaming in
If we're
Paris?
gonna go to Disney, we're not gonna game in Disney.
No, that's different though. First off, that's we go to Disney so many times that it's not that unique anymore to go to Disney. Second off, it's a lot more expensive to go to Paris.
I'll go on the French trip for school and I'll just be like, yo guys, look what I brought. And I'll like pull like a DCC core book.
You would not have run it.
What? That's not true. I would write out a game that's very similar to DCC, but it's actually just have none of the rules of DCC.
Exactly.
That's what I read.
All right, next question.
I saw you think okay. Good day, judges.
Also from Brian.
Yeah.
All
hyphen.
these questions are from Brian.
Is this a hyphen? The little like doop?
Yes.
There's a hyphen. More questions.
More questions from Brian.
Number 1. Managing players with spellcasting characters gets me a little bogged down, especially at higher levels.
Brian, you're going to have an issue with spellcasters. This is like
Dang,
Brian's spellcaster support night here.
Honestly. Do you have advice on how to easily manage players casting different spells during combat without continuously stopping to page the rules to check all of the specifics? I'm confused.
Yeah. One great way is to have them have their printed spell books ahead of time. So you can do that by going to the purplesorcerer.com and have them print their spell books out.
Yeah.
And then tell your players that, to be ready to cast what they've got there and then roll the die.
Have them ready. Be like, yo, prepare it before your turn. So that's they're like, I want this paper, and I want this paper, and I'll flip to this paper,
Yeah, have them on their turn. They should be.
They should know what they're casting.
They should know what they're casting.
The spell does. And I'll be like, what does this mean? I mean,
you don't know until you get the result, but still, you don't. The only thing I can do to start bogging things down, and I have seen this, is if, and this is kind of like metagaming, if the player is really bogged down with a spell where there's a lot of difference between like 1 or 2 points on the spell chart, and they're really like adding a lot of luck into their roll, or like especially at the end of the scene, end of the battle, or end of the game, you might want to like start throwing things at them to have them speed up, so they're not taking forever. Whoa, Jonathan's here! Holy crap, man! I haven't seen you like in forever. Wow, like guest from Brazil, Jonathan is like epic famous as he was screaming Otto in like my epic Purple Planet campaign here. Died like fantastically in the last battle.
What thing did he set?
I don't know what that thing is.
It's like a waving person.
It's a waving person. But yeah, Brian, so that's, just my take is having print everything out. I'm ready to roll.
Did you try the tea?
I did. Here, we can dink a little bit. Next question.
Well, you just show the dink.
Next
That
question.
was a terrible dink.
That was, but,
No.
no.
Let's do it again.
You're going to break my Dutch
It
Wonderland
didn't
cup.
have the right
No.
sound.
Too bad.
But it wasn't the right sound.
Sucks to be a cup. Next question.
But it's not. It's the last question from Brian.
Okay.
And just in general, because we learned these questions. Number 2. How does playing Mothership compare to the MCC or DCC with Star Crawl Jammer rules compare? What do each of these game systems do well that perhaps the other system may be lacking?
Well, Judge Evie, you have now played Mothership and you have played DCC and MCC. And you played Star Crawl. It's been a while. But what's the big difference that you feel between them?
There's like no dice.
Huh?
There's no dice.
There are dice. You rolled them.
There's only like 2 dice in the one thing.
Okay, this is true.
And there's a bunch of different dice in the other one.
It's a D100 system, so you're rolling D10s.
Yeah.
What other differences? Would you say there's a tone difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference in tone?
I have to think about it.
I might have to pull these answers out of you.
No, I'm trying to remember what Mothership was and made it different. Like, I'm trying to visualize it. We're in the room. But that's just because there was ambiance. You didn't do ambiance with the other games.
Well, I don't do as much ambiance.
I think it's also because we just got the ambiance.
I think that Mothership being a lighter
It's more
game,
scary.
being a lighter game with less rules, and I think it really does lend itself well to creating what?
I have nothing to say.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's just I have a question, and if it's if you say yes, then my thing doesn't stay.
Okay.
So all of the recordings and stuff, was that just for the adventure, or all Mothership things have that?
Not every Mothership thing has that, but a lot of Mothership adventures have a lot of.
It felt more interactive.
It did.
That's the difference. It's more
Okay.
interactive.
Like
With,
not every
other
adventure
things.
is like that, but a lot of the Mothership adventures have cool quirks. So the one thing with the adventure we ran, which was the Haunting of Ipsilon 14, is that there were audio files to play in different rooms.
Or there was the little circuit board.
There was the circuit board. It was a website you could go to activate login commands and stuff. Another adventure that we'll be running called The Drain has very similar features to it. That's coming up. And The Drain actually has, to make the map of the space station, you have to print it out and create it origami style and put it on the table. And that is your origami map that you give the players. So it's 3-dimensional.
So cool.
I think what Mothership does really well is, because it's a small print game, or it was small print, now it's getting big, is it leads to wanting to invoke a lot of innovative gaming style.
It was a different style because people were up and moving around, and that was a good thing.
Well, I tried to run it more like an escape room when we played it, where
That's
we had
what it felt
different
like.
things
It felt like
in
an
the
escape room.
But because the rules are so light, it felt easier to do that. You're only dealing with D100 rolls, and you're actually you're encouraged not to roll for everything, but just when you really need to. So a lot of the conversation, it becomes very free form in the discussion. It is a horror game. I think what Mothership does really well is it creates an incredible tone for survival horror in space, and it really sets the perfect mood, and it kind of invokes some of the feels from 80s and 90s sci-fi scenes. Like you can imagine just having the ambiance playing from Alien Isolation was perfect.
So scary.
But you could run it more like a Star Trek feel if you wanted to. But remember, I mean, it's really, the game is trying to push for a horror effect, because the fear, the panic mechanics, those are all really baked in. And if you don't have a scary scene, you're taking away a lot of the cool parts of the game. You want to have there be some fright at the table. DCC and MCC and Starcrawl do link better for longer term play. You could run survival horror in DCC or Starcrawl or MCC. My MCC campaign takes place on a ship, but you're not going to have that same. Characters are going to be able to defend themselves pretty well. It's the monster's not as scary when you're unleashing like magic missiles out the tailpipe into it, like that final ball. But that said, your brother Eli, he was able to like that what the monster in that scene, like he a really lucky roll and just blasted the crap out of it in one round, but not for a whole bunch of other people were infected. I played Mothership for the last few weeks as a player. I played as the android Alistair in my friend Mark's. It's a different Mark than Mark Plord, but different Mark. Well, Mark Plord was there too. I played as Alistair the android, and we played the adventure Bloom. And Bloom is an adventure that takes place in a space station and then down on a planet's surface, and it was an awesome amount of creepy factor. Not it was not like we weren't creeping around, but it's just a different tone, and I think that there's a lot of room to run either and have totally different feels. But if you have not got, I'm gonna plug it again in the Kickstarter shout outs, but really, I guess I have not been as excited for a Kickstarter or a game in a very long time like I am for Mothership. And the fact I can play it now in the 0 edition rules is great. Yay. That was the questions. All right, well, there we go. Again, send more questions to dccjudge@gmail.com. I don't know what next week's topic is going to be. It could be holiday gaming, maybe. It could be how things went with Mothership. We get our game off the ground. Who knows what it could be.
I get it, because it's in space, and you said off the ground.
There we go. Mm-hmm. Kickstarter shoutouts. Again, Mothership. All right, go to mothershiprpg.com, or I will put a link in the Kickstarter, for the Kickstarter in the, here, I'll put it down here if you haven't seen it. Although you haven't seen it at this point, you're under a rock. The thing is blasting off. No Road Crew shoutouts this week, so nothing there to really talk about. And where can folks find us, Judge Evie?
They can find us at I Live for Crits on Twitter, at Living for Crits on Instagram, and search Living for Crits on YouTube.
Well, I'm just going to say, in the spirit of spaceships, I'm just going to go pew pew pew.
That was not ASMR.
Pew pew pew.
There you go. I'm trying to think of the first random word I can think of. I got it. Stuffing.
Good night, everybody.